welcome back to my channel. I want to skip all the daily dallies and just went straight into it. This is another cooking video. Let's just do something simple and hopefully something that will make you hungry. So yeah, food. Food is great, and this time it is with peanuts. I adore peanuts. Peanuts is great. And have you tried peanuts and raisins together as a snack? That is amazing. But peanuts in dinner, that's even more delicious. I'm jumping right into it because I don't want you to click away. And that's it. This is my intro, and I hope you enjoy food with chicken, zucchini, and peanuts. It's so good. So this is another chicken dish. When I cut out chicken, I cut out with my scissor because I do not want it on my cutting board that is made of wood. I don't want to have meat on my cutting board. It's just a whole other thing, so I'm only cutting my vegetables and stuff like that on my cutting board. It would have been different if I had a plastic cutting board, then I wouldn't have cared because, you know, it's plastic. But a wooden cutting board, that's something else. When I prepare for food, I cut everything before I start cooking. Then I cut up my spring onions. I always cut up in the order that I want to put them in my wok. So first I cut up the spring onions, and then I cut up some carrots. And now for me, carrots is the hardest thing to cut out because Ringo adores carrots. And I cannot not give him carrots. He has the biggest eyes and the cutest little nose, and he whines like nothing I've ever heard if I ignore him. So I get a lot distracted when I'm cutting carrots. But it's okay. I can actually give him some. When I'm cooking with carrots, I usually like cut 4 to 6 pieces, small pieces out for him, and then throw it to him whenever I see fit. And when I have cut all the carrots out, I cut the zucchini. And yeah, that's all the ingredients I have to cut up because the ginger and the garlic and the chili, that is all stuff I use in powder form. And the lime, I don't have to because I use lime juice instead of, you know, the real deal. When I start my journey of cooking, that sounds so cheesy, and it is. I always turn on my wok and then put in some coconut oil. I do not use vegetable oil or butter or olive oil or all that stuff. I don't like the taste of oil in that way. So coconut oil, I feel, is the best way for me. I start with the chicken, and then when I am the most stressful, then I turn on the rice cooker for my rice because the rice needs a little less than the chicken. Now I always mix in the lime juice as I go. I feel like I get more taste out of it. So here and there I sprinkle in some lime juice, but it should add up to 1.5 lime because 2 limes, that's just too much. Before the chicken is completely cooked, I'm mixing the spices, you know, the garlic powder and the ginger powder. I love the powder. I love that I can get that in powder form. You know how horrible it is to cut ginger small enough for it to not be one big lump of ginger you eat in a bite. So powder is genius. So after I've cooked the chicken with the spices, I stir it a lot. I stir my food so much you wouldn't even believe it. Then I put in some spring onions, all the spring onions actually, and let that cook. Because that's an onion, I have to add it as soon as possible because that absorbs the taste. I don't know if any of this makes sense, and I don't even know if it's correct, but it makes sense to me. So that's all that matters. After about 2 minutes, I put in the carrots. That also means this is the end for Ringo. He doesn't get any more carrots because as soon as it's in the wok, he doesn't get anyone because, you know, hot. I can't give him boiling carrots. I then put in the zucchinis. I mix everything as well as I can do. And then I put in some soy sauce. I adore soy sauce because that means I don't have to salt my food. I am not a person who salts my food. If you are a person who thinks you need salt, this is where you put it in the dish. But not me, because we're adding salt later. You know, the peanuts I talked about earlier? I put in some honey. Yeah, I put in honey in this dish. I put a little too much, but it's okay. It's still delicious because I can weigh it up by putting a little extra sweet chili sauce in it. And then it's all just delicious. And I stir and I stir and I stir until it's perfect. And about this time, the rice should be done. I hope you have a rice cooker because that is the greatest tool I have had in my arsenal of kitchen supplies. All the other kitchen supplies, they don't work, but a rice cooker, genius. I don't even have an air fryer anymore, and everyone is so obsessed with air fryers. In the end, I take 1 handful of peanut right before I put in the rice, and then I stir it all together again. These peanuts I use, they have salt in them, and that salt is the salt that I didn't put in before. You gotta think about that. This dish could be too salty now. Yeah, don't insult your food with too much salt. That was a sidetrack. I sometimes go on a tantrum, but it's fine as long as I come back to the point. Don't put too many peanuts in your dish if you had already put in salt, because it gets too salty. Unless of course you're using unsalted peanuts, then put all of it in. Like, to me, I can't get enough peanuts. Zucchini is weird because what does it taste like? I haven't eaten zucchini like uncooked and without any other ingredients. Is it like the aubergine? Like just tasteless and rubbery? And if it is, why are we even using it? But the recipe that I am guided from HelloFresh, it says zucchini, so I'm using a zucchini. But it doesn't matter. I am on a tantrum and a sidetrack again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it will be a while until my next cooking video because I have other stuff to do, right? I need to make a dress for myself because I am almost completely out of dresses. But thank you for watching. I love making food. Food is fun, and I hope you enjoy making food. And if you're not making food with joy, then I feel like you're doing it wrong. You should always be happy cooking food. Yeah, that's it.